Welcome to Tip of the Iceberg. Let's check out some videos.
Disclaimer. This video is for entertainment purposes only. The views and opinions are that of Tip of the Iceberg. Please do your own research as the clips haven't been fact-checked.
Here's more proof that Bible prophecy is happening right now. The book of Revelation chapter 6, 15 through 16 says that the rich men and the kings of the earth will hide themselves in caves and in the rocks of the mountains and say to those rocks, fall on us and hide us from the face of him who sits on the throne and from the wrath of the Lamb. Isaiah chapter 2 verse 21 says that they will flee to caverns and in the rocks and in the crevices of the cliffs, away from the terror of the Lord and from the splendor of his majesty when he arises to shake the earth. That very thing is happening right now as billionaires and millionaires across the world are buying bunkers and preparing to try and survive when the apocalypse or the end of days comes. Forbes.com article, billionaire bunker owners are preparing for the ultimate underground escape. GuardianGazette.com, elites are buying underground private bunkers. And CNN.com, billionaire bunkers, how the 1% are preparing for the apocalypse. Pretty amazing how something written almost 2,000 years ago is happening right now as we speak, exactly how it said it would. Bible prophecy proves that the God of the Bible is the one true living God.
It's amazing how we're seeing the Bible and all the prophecies within it coming true right before our eyes. There's more than just this. Pretty interesting times we're living in.
What the fuck is that? Finally playing.
Dude, I don't know how you aren't jumping around wigging out.
You're kidding! That is so huge!
You want to take him?
Oh my god!
Get on this thing. Holy shit! That's a big octopus. You want to yap it? I want to eat it, but I don't know how to. Oh, yeah. Oh.
All I got to say is I don't think I would drive that car ever again. I would just abandon it. Comment below and tell me what you would do. Would you still drive that car?
So this freaking thing, it's staring at me. It followed me home from the gifting rock. It's about 1 o'clock in the morning right now. I think I don't know what to do. But it followed me home and it is absolutely staring at me right now. All right.
What is that right on the other side of the road, that black thing? It looks like it might be a little bear cub or something. You think maybe that's Mama bear staring at him? Either way, that's pretty creepy, isn't it?
It must be about 3,000 feet up now, I'd say. Wow, look at that. It must be about 3,000 feet up now, I'd say. It must be about 3,000 feet up now, I'd say. Wow, look at that. It must be about 3,000 feet up now, I'd say. Look at that. It must be about 3,000 feet up now, I'd say.
So I want to say it was back in the late 1990s, early 2000s, Popular Mechanics magazine had that triangular UFO or UAP on the cover, and I think it was like advertising like it was the U.S. Air Force or CIA or whatever on it, and they had some sort of article on it and everything. I had it a long time ago and wish I still had a copy of it, but I cannot find it on the internet when I do any searches. Let me know if y'all remember seeing that, because I feel like I'm losing my mind, or maybe it's a Mandela effect or something. Comment below if you know what I'm talking about.
Look at this UFO, dude. This is crazy. It's sitting here spinning. Port Orange, Florida. Daytona Beach, Florida.
Holy shit, that's fucking crazy. Fuck is that thing?
It's an orb ball spinning right above.
Someone's behind me, I gotta go.
Alright. Fucking crazy.
We, America.
What do you think, real or fake? All I could say is I've actually seen that before and with my own eyes. It's pretty weird.
Actively preparing for war with China.
China's the #1 national security threat to the United States.
Over 30,000 Chinese migrants have entered. We are anticipating some kind of conflict.
Breaking news coming out in the last 24 hours that America is actively preparing for war with China over the growing fears of a Taiwan invasion. And take a look, this coming out just in the last 24 hours. Any direct conflict between the U.S. and China could easily spiral into World War III. A lot of people saying that this could be the beginnings of World War III. Many saying we're already in it, and we're already failing with the Biden administration. Now, with both China and the United States in possession of nuclear weapons, that could destroy the planet. And new reports coming out, and I'm going to be sharing with you the video footage, that 30,000 Chinese nationalists have entered the United States illegally since October with the open border policies of the current Biden administration, raising national security fears. And this comes as over the weekend I shared with you that the United States said they were deeply concerned over China's military drills in the Taiwan Strait. The State Department says that they are preparing for war with China, and China has stated that they do plan to invade Taiwan, and when they do so, if the United States intervenes, that they will be hitting us as well. And we've heard these warnings from the FBI. I shared with you the Chinese government poses broad and unrelenting threats to U.S. critical infrastructures. The FBI director says these warnings coming out, and they're saying that right now the United States is preparing for war with China, and this could lead to World War III. Now, I'm going to be sharing with you the latest video footage as to what's happening with Chinese nationalists entering into the United States. And also, if you want to hear about cyber attacks and systems shutting down in the U.S., attacks on U.S. soil, stick around to the end. I've got some more updates on that as well. But with that being said, you guys, let's go ahead and dive into the latest information, the video footage. And before we do me a quick favor. If you appreciate the updates, even though it might not be the news that we want to hear, but you appreciate staying up to date, do me a quick favor. Hit that like button. Subscribe to stay up to date. It's totally free. Why not? It'll keep you up to speed on everything. And with that,
wars and rumors of wars. If World War III does break out, do y'all think that we'll actually have a battle here on American soil? Let me know what you think in the comments below.
It's not so bad.
The only thing that isn't fake about this video is how terrifying the Atticus spider really is. Nicknamed the Huntsman Spider is not what makes this 8-legged fucknose so scary. It's the fact that it gave up on spinning webs entirely because it's so damn fast. This terrifying not-so-little track star can cover up to 40 times its body length and distance in under a second. Adults grow up to 12 inches long. If you do the math, that's about a yardstick per second, making them the fastest spider on the entire planet. I'll give it to this gross go-getter. It makes no sense to spin webs and wait for your prey to come to you. I'd go to it too if I was that fast. And the largest, of course. It's one of the few arachnids that don't stop at bugs. Rats, birds, and even possums are on the menu. Yes, it's fast enough and can jump high enough to catch birds. They prefer to live in caves, and if you're in Australia, your house. And will even consume one another given the opportunity. These cannibalistic critters don't just stop at giving me the jitters. They're also impressive in the way they can sense vibrations from their prey in order to track them down. And if they're in your house, you should move because the females can lay up to 200 eggs. And although it's not dangerous to humans, of course they pack a sleep serum that's dangerous to their prey. So I'm gonna stay away.
So if you live in Australia, I'd like to hear from you in the comments. There's all kinds of the most deadly of everything y'all have to deal with out there. Is that like an actual problem you deal with day to day if you live in the cities, or is that more of a if you live rural or out in the sticks or the bush or whatever you call it out there? Please comment below. I'm curious.
Beam. Mm-hmm. Can you describe what that is? It's the ability to stage through very advanced technologies an alien attack or an alien event. And it's a whole series of them. Now, what most people don't know about since late 50s, early 60s, like the Barney Hill case and all that, those were all human assets abducting innocent people made to look alien. And so that psychological warfare was authorized in 1953, 54. 1954, we mastered gravity control. So we started deploying these assets to begin to condition the public that there's a scary threat from outer space. Mm-hmm. I mean, look at Hollywood, Alien, Ridley Scott's, the movies. If you want to see a script for what's coming fairly soon, look at the movie Independence Day. Okay. It's right out of central casting for this covert group. So what their whole purpose is to create sort of a global militarized totalitarian superstate of the world fighting another world. It's like War of the Worlds. Okay. And that's been a 70-year defense.
Blue Beam Project.
I believe that that's a psychological operation. I also believe that the aliens are not actual space aliens, but demons from another dimension or another reality or under the earth or whatever. But let me know what you all think.
Marks the beginning of total population control. This delusional project aims to stage a large-scale fake extraterrestrial invasion worldwide, with UFOs visible in the sky, and to introduce a fake god to save humanity from this invasion. It would employ highly realistic secret military technology, and they have recently conducted tests. The result is crazy. I currently have a video of these tests, but if I show it to you, I might not be free in 24 hours. The ultimate goal would be to eradicate all religions and establish a single unified religion, thereby achieving complete control over the population through fear. This project, combined with the HARP project, would enable the manifestation of a religious figure capable of causing earthquakes, storms, and natural disasters, to more strongly modify the belief systems of the masses. Remember in Spider-Man Far From Home when they used holograms to portray Asterio as a hero? Now recall this phrase. In the movie, we'll tell them the truth, and in reality, we'll lie to them. Tell me what you think about it, and remember that if aliens ever invade us, don't believe it.
Well, I think that after the rapture comes, that they're going to use this as a way to explain or lie to the masses and make them think it was a mass alien abduction. Tell me if you think the same.
Sun. Right there, right? So what in the WF is that? What is that? What is that? It's got even an orange hue to it. That's the sun, okay? That's supposedly the sun. What the hell? What is that? It's brighter in real life, of course. The camera doesn't even do it justice. What is that? And here's both of them in focus. So somebody please explain what in the hell?
I've seen that before, maybe a couple years ago. I think what that is the sunlight traveling across and reflecting off a cloud that has, some sort of water particles or something, because it kind of looks like a rainbow. What do y'all think? Looks a little weird, but if you look close enough, you'll see it looks like it's a cat walking into the door and another cat peeking his head out. But it does look kind of goofy.
Tree's bleeding out. Never seen a tree bleed before.
I believe that's called the dragon blood tree. They're found in Asia, Africa, and I think also parts of Australia. Comment below if you live somewhere where these trees are. Well, that's the end of this show. I thank you for all watching. If you like this kind of content, please consider subscribing. With that, I'm going to leave you all with a bonus video from a comedian named Brad Stein. I hope you enjoy. Thank you, and God bless.
And people say, yes, what's the difference? You know, the Bible's just another book. No, first off, that's wrong. The Bible's not a book. The Bible's 66 books. 40 different people wrote it. Over 1,500 years. There's never been a book like that in history. Ever. Does that make it the Word of God? No. It just means it's worth considering. Because there's never been a book like this. Gives you some reason to consider it over the others. Well, how about history? For hundreds of years, archaeology has used the Old Testament and New to find buildings, to find people, to find civilizations, to find kings that didn't exist or they didn't think they did. And suddenly the Bible said they were there and they dug it up and there it was. Does that make it the Word of God? No. It means it's historically accurate. Real people really existed and really wrote down what they saw. It's worth considering. And then they said, we're going to have God show up. And lots of people said that. Lots of religions say it. Don't worry, we'll prove it as a rational God would do. I will do prophecies. I will show that I'm not trapped in linear time, that I can see beyond where you are. I will give prophecies to tell you what the guy, when I show up, when God appears on earth to reveal himself, I'll show you what he's going to look like. Over 300 prophecies. And then a man showed up one day named Jesus. And he said, I'm that guy. And he fulfilled all 300 prophecies. That's impossible. People could say, well, yes, they just wrote it afterwards and filled it all in. But we know that the first Greek translation of the Old Testament was done 250 years before Jesus was born. So how could they possibly know that he'd be born in Bethlehem? How could they possibly know he was going to be crucified when crucifixions didn't even exist as a capital punishment yet? How could they know that he'd be betrayed for 30 pieces of silver 250 years before there was a Jesus? Does it make it the Word of God? No, but it's starting to get close. And then Jesus said he would fulfill these things and did miraculous things to prove I'm not just a guy talking like everybody else. Look what I've done. And some people believed and some didn't. That's how humans are. And then he said this, I'm going to prove it to you. I'm going to die. And I'm going to come back to life. Nobody's ever done that. And he died. And all those who were with him, 3 years, ran in fear, as would all of us. And they ran away and they said, I guess we were wrong. And then something happened. Something happened that made all of these guys come back and be willing to be martyred for this belief system, except for one. Of course, John was sent off, but everybody died a martyr's death. What was it for? Because they thought they were going to get rich? There was no riches here. There was no riches. The Roman government hated them. They wanted them destroyed. They'd use them as people that could be eaten alive by animals for sport and entertainment. You were kicked out of your culture. The Jews weren't going to take you in, so there was no value there. There was nothing good here. There was nothing here to gain. And they all still died for what? Because they found a new religion? No, for one reason. They said this. I saw him die, and I saw him come back. And that's it. You don't have to believe that. Well, why did he die? So you could have a perfect life? No, so you didn't have to go to hell. Well, I don't believe in a God who would send people to hell. He didn't give hell for you. That's what's great about Christianity. It gives you all the answers. Hell was created for the devil and his angels. But it was part of the rules he put into nature, into the nature that we live in. Anybody that rebel against him, this is where they're going. So once we did that, he could have bailed out. Sorry, you're going to hell. He didn't. He said, don't worry, kids, I'm coming down. So if you go to hell, you chose it. And you will not sit there and argue with him. You'll know what you've done. And And if you're an atheist, let me tell you something. That's your dilemma. If we all die and there is no God, it's just eternal unconsciousness, you'll never know. But if you're wrong, you'll know forever. And it's not a gamble anyway. You should take. Well, what are you saying? I should just believe in Jesus so I don't go to hell? Pretty much.